have a blanket or hand towel or anything available, please feel free to grab it. It'll be nice for support for your knees, but then also we're going to be using them for our arms. The view that I have of me is that you can see my whole mat and my whole body. If that changes at all, or as we get moving, you feel like something's not clear, please feel free to turn on your camera and give me a frantic wave, and I will adjust myself accordingly. I'm going to unplug my ears. So again, if you need me for anything, please feel free to mute yourselves. If you need me for anything during class, camera's on, frantically wave. Let's do some Pilates. So I would like today, we're going to start with some mid-back stuff, and then we're going to kind of build. And so to sort of like prep for that, I would love if we could come onto hands and knees. And now being mindful, and I know that for some of us, maybe weight bearing on our hands and our wrists and our shoulders doesn't feel fabulous, in which case you're welcome to come up to seated and do sort of like a seated cat-cow version of what we're going to do on hands and knees. So feeling your hands planted into the floor, maybe your toes are tucked underneath you. You'll get a nice stretch through your feet as well there. As we inhale, keeping it nice and calm, we're going to lengthen our chest through our hands, allowing our bellies to drop to the floor. Now I'm going to be pretty casual about this, and then I'm going to be specific. And as we breathe out, scoop, tuck, round the spine, push the floor away, let your head drop, find a nice big cat pose here. As we inhale, lengthening out. Now watching as you inhale that the shoulders aren't coming up to the ears. It's not a collapsing experience. It's a shooting forward. It's an opening experience through the collarbones. And then as we exhale, as we round, can we focus our attention on that fleshy low belly space, pubic bone to belly button? So yes, the upper body can round tons, but what about that lower abdomen, which also is going to affect our spines? Inhale as we lengthen out, chest draws through the hands. Can we slide shoulder blades onto our back so that we're really lengthening out through here? This is an inhale maybe. And then as we exhale again, scoop, tuck, round, focusing on that fleshy low belly space. Maybe a squeeze of the glutes are appropriate here. 2 more. Inhale to lengthen out. So as we focus on the upper body pulling through and the tail opening, the lower back will just respond to those things. And then as we exhale, as we super push the floor away, as we round through that low belly, let the head hang, the upper body will respond. One more time, inhaling to lengthen it through here. Now watching that we're not extra extending into our arms. If we could keep a super gentle bend here, that would be fabulous. Bringing ourselves to center, a little bit of rotation for the upper body here. Maybe shimmy your left hand in a little bit. As you inhale, you're going to push that floor away, slide the left shoulder onto the back, and rotate that arm up. Now, maybe we go through the chest first, and then add that arm, reach, push the floor away, shoulder blades on your back. And then as you breathe out, you're going to thread the right arm underneath the left as you go through. Inhale to push the floor away, open it up. Hi, Sarah. And then exhaling it through. 2 more like this. Now, even though it feels really exciting to focus on the upper arm, can we actually focus on the bottom arm, bringing that shoulder blade on the back? It's going to affect how much you rotate, and that's really important. Threading it through. One more time. Inhaling to open it up. Thinking wide across those collarbones. As you thread the arm through, you're welcome to stay here. Place the outside of the right delt on the floor. Maybe slide your bum back to your heels. And if your toes are tucked, you might get a bit of a stretch through the feet there. Taking a breath in. Breathing it out. One more time in. As we breathe out, rippling forward, come back onto hands and knees. And again, you could totally be doing a version of this from kneeling if weight bearing doesn't feel fabulous for you. Reestablishing that hands and knees. This time as we inhale, we're going to push the floor away with the right arm, shoulder blade on the back, chest rotates, left arm reaches up. But again, we're focusing on that bottom arm. Reach, and then we thread the left arm under and through to reach to the opposite side. As we inhale, we're focusing on that bottom arm, shoulder blade on the back, left arm up. As we breathe out, reaching it through, just sort of wringing out that spine here. 2 more, only to a degree that feels fabulous for you. Not trying to sort of like force or pull our body anywhere. We're just allowing it to have a bit of space. Last time, thread it through. And then if you'd like to take a pause here, you can sit your bum back. Maybe toes are tucked or not. It's totally up to you. Taking some breaths in and taking some breaths out. So as always, I really do my best to try to blueprint a class for you that gives you lots of room to make yourself, I was going to say accessorize, bedazzle yourself so that you can really figure out like what your body needs. It's your practice, your body, your choice. I'm just here to blueprint you and cheerlead you, which I will definitely do. When you're ready, bring yourself all the way up. We're going to slide down onto our bellies. So we're going to start with some shoulder stuff here today. And I know we've done this a few times, but I just feel like it's such a nice one for getting into those posture muscles, especially for finding ourselves sort of at home more, right? Which is exactly what's happening. So we're going to bring ourselves down to the floor, open your legs a little bit wider than hip distance, and you're going to turn those legs out. So your knees are looking away from you. Your hands are planted down on the floor and they're wide of you. Yeah. So if you can go wider than your mat, amazing. If not, don't worry about it. I'm going to keep myself up a little bit more so you can definitely hear me, but your heads are going to face all the way down. So your arms are wide out, sort of like a trident, pressing down through the top, like all the way from the toppest, middleest finger, down your hand, down your forearm, down your elbow. Head is to the floor. Now turning on all of our bits of housekeeping. Those legs are turned away. The legs are active. Glue the big toe to the floor so that it's not popping up. Little bit of an inhale here, little bit of an exhale to start to find that Pilates breath, scooping your low belly towards your pubic bone. Now, I don't want you to lose your hip bones completely, but I definitely want us to have awareness to the pubic bone. Taking a breath in, exhaling out through your mouth, trying to slide that rib cage into the center of our bodies. Okay, as we inhale, shoulder blades are going to come onto our backs. Really give them a nice squeeze, and you're going to gently roll your nose away from you like you're rolling a marble. As you breathe out, you're going to lengthen your chest out and up, but keep your forearms, elbows, and fingertips glued to the floor. So you're not going high. Take a breath in here to feel like you're shining that chest forward, just like you did in our cat-cow. And then as you breathe out, lowering down, but do not lose the tension in the home base of your legs. As you inhale, shoulder blades on your back, little roll away with the nose. As you breathe out, you're trying to pull your chest forward. Slide those hands, traction them down to your toes, and use them as leverage to lengthen yourself up. At the top here, notice if you've collapsed your hip bones, keep yourself to your pubic bone, quads, glutes active. One more breath, and then when you're ready, breathing out to melt to the floor. Keep going here. At the bottom, making sure the shoulder blades on there are on the back, that little head not away, housekeeping of the lower body. As you breathe out, lengthening out and up, pull your chest through your hands, shining your heart through. Taking a breath in at the top here, and as you breathe out, melting it to the floor. Two more. Inhale, shoulder blades on back, little head nod forward, lengthening your chest out and up. Inhaling at the top, and as we exhale, melting it down. Two more. Inhale, shoulder blades on back, little head nod forward. Now pull your chest through your hands. We're still keeping those bottom ribs on the floor, and I'm hoping you're noticing that my breath and my voice don't change. If I really pushed my ribs into the floor to lift up, my voice would do that. So you have to keep them drawn in. It's almost like I could levitate. Lowering to the floor one more time. Feeling the function of the shoulder blades on the back, the little head nod forward, the shining of the heart out and up, and then pause. Staying at the top here, take that breath in through the nose, backs and sides of the ribs. So I'm hoping you're starting to feel your mid-back, sort of where your heart rate monitor would be, just below the tips of your shoulder blades. If you're feeling low back tons, bring your torso down a little bit. See if you can keep your torso as it is. Can you lift your arms to hover? Hold those arms to hover here, breathe in. Hold those arms to hover here, breathe out. Hold those arms to hover, and just start hugging those shoulder blades in, widening across the tops of the shoulders. Take one more breath in here. As you breathe out, lower your hands, gently lower your head, relax your legs, let one cheek touch the mat. Taking a breath in and exhaling it out. When we're ready, coming back to center. So legs are active, knees looking away. Low belly is active, glutes and thighs are on. As we inhale, shoulder blades onto our backs, little head nod forward. We're getting ready to go here. As we breathe out, we're lengthening out and up. Now we're going to keep our torso elevated here in this little bit of extension. If it starts to get too much on your mid-back muscles, feel free to come down to the floor. You're going to dig those elbows into the floor. We're going to lift up just our forearms and our hands. Notice my feet are still connected down. Quads are still active. Glutes are still active. Low belly is still active. Elbows are hugging. They're trying to dig a hole in the floor. Palms rotate to face each other. Give yourself a thumbs up, and then you're going to try to pull those elbows down into the floor. Reach the thumbs away. Draw your chest forward. Hug the shoulder blades on your back. Being here for 8, for 7, for 6, maximum tension. For 5, this is one of my favorite mid-back exercises right now. For 4, that's why we're doing it like pretty much every time. 3, 2, 1. Reverse engineer the hands, they lower down. Maybe you keep your torso, maybe you take a little bit of a break. If you're on the floor, gently bringing yourself out and up. Dig the elbows in, lift the forearms and the palms to hover. Rotate the palms to face each other. Give yourself a thumbs up. And then as the elbows try to hug into the floor like they're digging a little divot, the thumbs reach out and away. Mid back is squeezing here. Chest is opening. Legs are reaching. Low belly is active for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, reverse engineer the hands, lower them down, maybe keep your torso, maybe lower to the floor. When you're ready, bringing yourself back out and up. Find all the housekeeping. Elbows dig into the floors, the forearms and palms lift up. Palms rotate to face each other. Give yourself a thumbs up. Reach out and away with those arms. For 4, I'm hoping you're feeling your mid back, yeah? 3, can you find more tension every time you work here? For 2, for 1, reverse engineer, lower down one more time. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift the forearms and the hands, elbows dig in. Rotate the palms, give yourself a thumbs up. Take the thumbs and reach them out and away. Now super hug those elbows into the floor for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, reverse engineer, lower the arms, lower the torso. Maybe it feels reasonable to push yourself out and back and give yourself a bit of a shell stretch. Maybe you're happiest lying on your belly. So I'm hoping we're really starting to feel, yeah, that like mid-back band just below your shoulder tips. Okay, setting those hands back up on your mat. Legs are reaching out and away, facing the floor. Finding that little scoop to your pubic bone, ribs are drawn in, thighs are active. As we inhale, shoulder blades on our back, little head nod forward, we're reaching out and up to this extension. Now you might not go quite as high this time. We're gonna start to add some arms in here, so feel free to play with your height. Non-negotiable is that we are not pressing our ribs and our hip bones into the floor. We're scooping through our belly, firing those glutes, finding some pubic bone here. When you're ready, you're gonna lift those palms to hover, those forearms to hover, those elbows to hover. So those arms are parallel to the floor. We're going to take a breath in, and as we breathe out, keep the full forearm, elbow, and fingertip hovered. We're going to squeeze our shoulder blades onto our back. We're going to inhale to reach just the right arm forward. And then exhale, squeeze both shoulder blades on the back. Inhale, just your left arm reaches forward. And then squeeze on your back. Right arm reaches forward. Squeeze onto your back. Left arm reaches forward. Squeeze onto your back. Now, as you're moving here in this little series, can we make sure we're still not pushing the rib cage down into the floor, that we're lengthening out through the crown of the head, that we're still trying to keep an openness through the tops of the shoulders. Now, as your arm reaches forward, your shoulder blade is upwardly rotating, so there will be a movement of the shoulder here. There should be. But as we do that, can we think more like we're showcasing our armpits to the floor versus squeezing our shoulder blades to our ears? Right arm reaches forward. I'm hoping your mid back is on fire. Mine is on fire. Squeezing it in. Right arm reaches forward. Hug it in. Left arm reaches forward. Now, if it's keep going, if that's too much, you could always place your hands down and reach one at a time and then put it down. Left arm reaches, pull it in, put it down. You could always play with that instead of both of your arms hovering. One more each side. Right arm reaches forward. Squeeze it in. Left arm reaches forward. Squeeze it in. Now, if it's reasonable, maybe reach both of those arms forward. Hold them here for 10, 9, 8. I'm totally cheating with my hands on the floor. For 3, for 2. Last one, lower down. Press yourself, if it feels reasonable, into a shell stretch. If it doesn't feel reasonable to be belly down, feel free to flip onto your backs. If you're on your backs, take a little twist of your legs over to the right. If you're belly down, walk your hands over to the right. Go for a bit of a stretch there. Taking your breath in, taking your breath out. Walking your hands through center over to the left. Feel your right hip hug back. And if you're on your back, you're going to take your legs over to the left for a twist. Breathing in and out here. Coming back through center. Let's bring ourselves all the way up. So grabbing a hold of your blanket or hand towel or whatever. If you don't have one, totally don't worry about it. It's just going to be there to help close the chain of our movement. It's called a closed chain. So it doesn't have to be super fancy, just enough so you can kind of grab a hold of it. And it can be like from your kitchen. It doesn't have to be that big of a deal. And we're gonna reach those arms forward in line with our shoulders. I'm gonna go sideways so you can kind of see what my torso is doing. So starting with those arms out, up nice and tall through our spine, we're gonna squeeze into our arm muscles. Now, if you have a huge range here, like air quotes hyperextension, you're welcome to find your full range as long as you can feel tension in your arms. So if you go into your full range, like I have a bit of a what would be considered hyperextension, but I can feel the muscles around my arms working, you can go there. Up as tall as you can be, stacking shoulders over hips. We're gonna inhale, reach the arms forward. Feel like your shoulder blades are peeling off of your spine. As you breathe out, you're gonna hug the shoulder blades onto your back, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Try not to shove them up and squeeze them up to our ears. Inhale to reach those arms forward, reach, 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 reach. Exhale to squeeze it back. Inhale to reach them forward. Exhale back. Feeling full tension through the arms the full entire time you're here. If you don't have a towel or anything, you could always just reach those arms forward in fists. Doesn't super duper matter, but it's just a nice touch if you do have something. Exhale to squeeze. 2 more, full tension through those arms. Reaching forward, forward, forward as much as you can, and then squeezing back, 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 back as much as you can. 1 more time. Forward, 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 reach, reach, reach. Squeeze it back, 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 back. Try to squeeze those arms, and then settle somewhere right in the middle. We're going to think about that pelvic scoop that we were working on when we were lying on our bellies so that that pubic bone gets to sort of energize forward. Glutes are on here, reaching through those arms. We're going to take our sweet time, 4 counts to scoop and draw back. Now I'm just going to drop my towel for now so you can see my full torso. We're taking a hinge for 4. Now notice as I'm scooping 3 that I'm not expanding through my ribs. For 2, I'm trying to keep all one line. 1, hold it here, breathe in. Squeeze the glutes and quads, bring yourself up. Reaching back for 4. Arms are nice and tight here. 3, that's why we did that prep. Watching to make sure we're not going into protraction or retraction. Last 1, hold it, squeeze your bum, bring yourself up. Keep going here. Now the further you go back, the more flexion is happening through the knees. For 2, for 1, little pause, squeeze your bum, bring yourself up. So maybe your range is a really slow and sweet, small angle behind that knee, and we supercharge the glutes up. Yeah? So play with where you want that placement to be, because it's truly, again, your body, your practice, your choice. Squeeze it up. 2 more. Take the hinge for 3. Take the hinge for 2. Take the hinge for 1. Now, of course, you're feeling your quads. 1 more time. For 3. For 2. Option to hold here. Now, wherever you're holding, squeeze your hands in those fists. Squeeze the arm muscles in your arms. Draw the rib cage down. Fire in through those glutes. Zipping up through your thighs. Lengthening through your spine. Maybe feel like you're doing a bit of an ab curl for 3. For 2. For 1. Bring it all the way up. Maybe sit down. Give yourself a little break. We're going to add on to this. At any time, you could be like, Dom, this is ridiculous. I don't want to do that. Your choice, right? So please feel free to take breaks as you need it, because this one's kind of fun. I will say it seems very like, I want to say like 80s workout video style moment. So let's have some fun with it, yeah? I'll probably start laughing. It always makes me laugh. All right, shoulder blades are on our backs, but not extra squeezy. Our arms, however, are. We're stacking ears over hips, over shoulder, or over shoulders, over hips. And we're already starting to feel that little bit of a low ab awareness, right? So that pubic bone shines forward. Taking your breath in here, let's do 3 of those hinges to start, just to get it in the body. For 3, for 2, your glutes are already on here. 1, little pause, and then use your muscles to bring you up. That's 1. We have 2 more. Back for 3, back for 2, back for 1. Squeeze and lift it up. 1 more time. For 3, for 2, for 1. Bring it up. Okay, this time we take it into our hinge. 3, 2, 1, and then pause. I'm going to drop my towel, but you stay as you are. We're super zipping up through those thighs. We're wide across the pelvis, but we're scooped. We're drawing the rib cage in. Now we're going to change our angle. You're going to stick your bum out and lean back and sit towards your heels. Then change your mind, squeeze your glutes, lift back up into that hinge. You're still squeezing. You hinge at the hips as if you were going to take a break, and then you're like, no, I'm working hard today. Squeeze your bum. Find your hinge. If you're holding onto your blanket or towel, you are squeezing through those arms like crazy, sitting back as if you were going to take a break, and then you're like, no, 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 no. Lift, hinge. The slower you go, the sweeter and more exciting this is going to be. Can you feel how, or can you hear how I'm getting out of breath? So slow and strong. 3 more. Hinge it back, lean it back, sit towards your heels, squeeze your glutes, find that lean. 1 more time. Sitting towards your heels, find the hinge, hold your hinge. 10, 9, squeeze the arms. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. It's supposed to be fiery. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up, take a break. I'm hoping your experience was like mine. Grab some water if you need it. We are almost done with this fun series. Although maybe you want to use a different adjective that's not fun, I'm totally okay with that. Okay, so you can always ditch the squeezy blanket situation if you want to. The hands can come over your chest like a crisscross. They can reach out, whatever feels great for you. But again, I encourage us, if you have something handy, to try it out. We're going to do a little practice here before we go into the full thing. So staying nice and upright, and you can always pad your knees, yeah? Feeling that nice sliding of the shoulder blades engaged on the back, that squeezing of your arm, and again, play with your range. Wherever you can still feel muscular tension is perfect. Now we're going to do a little twisting practice. So both of your hips, a little bit of housekeeping, are always going to point forward. They're never going to move. Just the upper body, as you breathe out, is going to twist around to the right. Now just check in with yourself here. Notice if your pelvis went with you. Notice if your arms are super past your chest. They're all sliding in one unit. Take a breath in, and then as one unit comes back to center. Let's try the other way. As you breathe out, you're twisting around to the left. Now you're only going as far as you can keep your hips stable, as you can keep your hands right in front of your chest. If you surpass them, you won't feel your obliques. As you breathe out, center. Inhale, tall. As we breathe out, around to the right. As we take that right twist, keeping that left hip nice and stable, arms in front of our chest, from the sides of the waist, bring yourself back to center. One more time, breathe it in. As we breathe out, around to the left. Inhale here. As we breathe out, around to center. Okay, keep those arms squeezing nice and tight. Inhaling here, we're gonna go back into that hinge. Now your angle is your choice, right? Obviously, the further back you go, the more spice-orama it's going to be. I'm going to stay kind of shallow because I'm already out of breath and I'm never going to be able to talk us through it if I go too deep, right? But you go where you need to go. Squeezing through those arms. We're going to sit our bum towards our heels. Change your mind, use your glutes, lift up to your hinge. To the right, we're trying to twist, but keep the hips stable. Keep yourself in your hinge, and then exhale, bring yourself back to center. We're taking ourselves over to the left, hands stay in front of the chest, hips stay square, and then we bring ourselves back. Sit your bum towards your heels, lean your body weight back, change your mind, lift up into your lean. Over to the right, we twist just the upper body, the lower body stays centered. Exhale, squeeze to reach the front. Quick inhale, exhale around to the left. Both of your hips are facing forward, and then they exhale to center. Stick your bum out, take that sit as if you were gonna take a break, arms squeezing. Don't take your break, lean up into your hinge. To the left this time. Rotate upper body to the left, through center. Inhale, exhale, you're still in your hinge, your hips are both facing forward. Back to center. Last one. Sit down towards your heels, little lean back. Fire the glutes up into your hinge. Twisting to the left, hands in front of the chest. Bring yourself to center. Around to the right. Keep leaning, keep hinging. Around to center. Drop your towel. Hands across your chest like a cross. We're going to do little pulses. Almost sit down and then lift up. Almost sit down into your lean. Almost sit down into your lean. For 4, quads on fire. For 3, so you're just doing a little halvesies pulse here. 2, your body, your choice. You find the lean that works for you. For 5, hold it here. 4, hold it here. 3, you can do it. 2, last one, bring it forward. Spice-orama. I'm gonna grab some water. That's what I'm gonna do. Feel free to grab some yourself too. It's over. That's done. We did it. We twisted, we quads, we glutes, we obliques, so many things. Let's come on to hands and knees. And now I will say, As we go on with this series, if you're feeling like being on hands and knees and working through your upper body is not serving you, you're going to slide onto your side body. So we're going to start with the right leg. If you don't want to weight bear hands and knees, lie onto your left arm. For anybody who's on hands and knees, little bit of housekeeping. We are pushing that floor away like cray-cray. We're feeling the hands pull nice and wide away from each other, and then you're hugging the heels of your hands down towards your knees. Likewise, your knees are hugging up towards the heels of your hands. So tension is coming to meet towards the belly button, and we're thinking wide across the belly button. Shift your left knee a little bit towards center. If you are lying on your left side body, your right hip is nice and long, your knees are bent, and as we breathe out, we're going to lift the right thigh up. Inhale to bring it in, exhale to lift. I'm going to show you the side lying version in a second, but you're sort of welcome to crack on with that as you're here. So as we're lifting and lowering through that right side, can we make sure that nothing funky is happening through the hips? By that, I mean we're not trying to shorten the space between our right rib and our right hip. We're trying to keep that nice and long. We're pushing the floor away, and we are tense through the arms. So we did all of that prep while we were up kneeling, right? Before we weight bared, so that now we're weight bearing, we have that relationship. Keep going. If you're side lying, you're lying on that left arm. Your right leg is reaching up and then down. It's kind of opening and closing like a book. Wherever you are, can you stay, please, aware of reaching your right tailbone behind you? You could also be on forearms here if you wanted to be. Just watch that you're not collapsing through your low back. Let's go for 4. Using your breath. For 3, keep pushing that floor away. For 2, last one, we're lifting the thigh up. Now, wherever you are, hold it there. Check in with all of your housekeeping, long through the top waist, pushing the floor away. We're going to pulse the right leg up for 10. For 9, there are absolutely obliques supporting you here. For 3, for 2, keep the leg up. If you're on hands and knees, you're coming down onto your left forearm. Right hand is like a kickstand. We're pushing the floor away, drawing the ribs in and taking a little bend to look at that right knee. We're squeezing the right knee in towards the right elbow, reaching the right leg up and back. Now, every time you extend through that right leg, can you zip up through your thigh and super squeeze into your bum? Reach it back. Keep going. If you are side lying, you're pretty much doing the same thing. You're just squeezing in and reaching out and back. Your arm could be up towards the ceiling. Hand could be on your hip, whatever feels good for you. Yeah? Keep moving here, please, friends. Pulling it in, out and back. Now, I love this series because it is so much more than just your glutes, right? We're essentially in a side plank here with the waist if you're on hands and, well, I guess forearm and hand and knee. Exhale to reach. So keep checking in with the waist. Can we make sure that top side is nice and long? Pulling in, reaching out and back. We're going for 3. Are we feeling our buns of steel yet? For 2, reach it out and back. Last one, back and then hold. Now this next bit is so minute, you're not even going to be able to see that big of a movement. Keep the hips nice and still. From right in the juicy part of your butt, internally rotate your leg like you're turning a key in a keyhole, and then externally rotate it. It's not going to be big. Rotate it in, rotate it out. Rotate it in, rotate it out. Now, if you're like, hey, this isn't that big of a deal, lift your leg a bit higher and see how it feels up a bit higher. I said, knowing full well that as soon as I lift that leg, it's going to spice it up. For 3, turning it up. For 2, turning it out. Last one, turn that leg out and then pause. Wherever you are, check in with your housekeeping. We're all trying to elongate the top side of the hip. We're all trying to draw into that bottom waist. We're lifting that leg up and out behind us. We're going up with that leg, little pulses. 10, zip the quad. 9, pulse it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Woo. Super fun business. We're going to come back up to kneeling. I'm going to face you, but you can face however you want to face. We're going to be kneeling on that left knee or left shin, and your right leg is going to come out nice and long, right toes facing forward, which feels really, really awkward, I know. Super zipping up through those thighs. So if you feel like what your body really, really wants is a traditional side plank on the left side, go for it. If you would like to experiment with some other versions, hands are going to come across your chest like a crisscross. Press into that right outer edge of your foot and zip up through that right inner thigh. Pelvis is radiating forward, glutes are on, quads are on. We're gonna I'm a little teapot ourselves up and over to the left. Push your right foot through the floor. As you breathe out, use your side waist to lift yourself up. Now, as you I'm a little teapot over, keep squeezing your glutes, keep radiating your pelvis forward. Push into that right leg, bring yourself up. This is a really nice way to still get that side plank experience without weight bearing on your arms. Because I know that that's sort of a theme that we work on, right? Is we want to strengthen, but I really don't want you to leave feeling aggravated. Bring yourself up. Now you can experiment with arms here. The more far away from you those arms go, the more load, the more work it's going to be. But don't forget about pressing that long foot into the floor. If you're on your side plank on your left side, you're totally just holding your version there. Keep holding it there. We have 2 more if you're doing those little dips. Exhaling it up. Keep pushing into that right foot. One more time, up and over. You're going to come up halfway for this last one. If you were in a side plank, keep holding on. If you're in an upward side plank, push into that foot, zip through your thighs, lengthen your body out. Maybe you add some arms for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring it in. Give yourself a little shake. Give yourself a little love. We're going to do it all again on the other side. Can you imagine if I was like, okay, warm up over, like as if we'd only been here for 5 minutes? What a concept of time that would be. Okay. So I'm going to turn around and face the other way. If you're side lying on your right arm this time, yeah? If you're hands and knees, your hands and kneesing it. So we're going to be lifting our left leg. Now, if you're on hands and knees, a little bit of housekeeping to start. We're pushing the floor away. Shoulder blades are on our back. Low belly ribs are drawn in. We're lengthening out through our tail. Take the right knee and scooch it a little closer to center. And then we're going to open that left leg out to the side. Inhale to squeeze it in, and then exhale to lift. So breathing where you need to breathe here, and then just noticing for yourself where there's maybe opportunity to add a little bit of extra nuance to this. So that would be maybe as you lift your leg, you push the floor away a little bit more because maybe the body's taking a quick little break there. Totally normal. Maybe we continue to think about that low belly being active. It's sort of like you're doing a plank here, yeah? Now keep going. If that's not an option, side lying, always, always fabulous. You'll be working just as hard here through the glutes. We're just omitting that upper body portion, right? So however you're feeling today, feel free to pick an option that works for you. And maybe that option is nap time, and that's okay. That's also an excellent practice for our body. I'm a big believer in nap times. Let's go for 8. Closing it in. Let's go for 7. Let's go for 6. For 5. Keep pushing that floor away. 4. Keep drawing that rib cage in. For 3. You've got it here, team. For 2. Last one. We're holding that top leg up. Keep pushing the floor away. Keep zipping into the belly. If you're on your hands and knees, see if you can feel even weight in those hands. Let's pulse that thigh up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Come down onto your right forearm. Press into your left hand like a kickstand. Lengthening out through our chest. Turning in to look at that left knee. Pulling the left knee in. Keep your tailbone reaching back. And then exhale out on a backwards diagonal. Pulling that left knee in. Reaching it out and back. Pulling it in. And reaching. Keep going. If you're on your side body, you're doing the same thing, pulling it in, kicking away. Feel free to add whatever articulation of your foot you would like here. I just started flexing because my knee was doing a funny thing with a pointed toe, which makes sense because we were kneeling on them. Pulling it in, reaching away. Now, If you're on your forearm and hand and knee, you're going to keep pushing that floor away, right? We don't take a break with the upper body. It's our stabilizer. It's our support. And because that is working so hard, it adds an extra layer to this. Our body is always going to try to use as little energy as possible because that's efficient. And Pilates, what we're doing is a practice of being so inefficient. Reach out and up, pull it in, reach it away, squeeze. And reach. You got it, team. Let's go for 4. Out and back. For 3. If you're not sure if you're feeling your glute, lift that leg a bit higher. For 2. Keep zipping into that rib cage. 1 more time. Reach the leg out and back and then pause. Ooh, are we all on fire? I'm on fire. Keep lifting that leg up. Keep pushing the floor away. Super small. You're going to rotate the leg internally and then externally. Internally. Externally, keep going. If you're on your side body, that leg is ever so slightly behind you, but it's definitely up. Rotate in, rotate out, rotate in, rotate out. It's supposed to be Spice-a-rama. Let's go for 2. And then in, and then out, pause. Grand finale, keep pushing the floor away. Keep zipping into the ribs. Keep reaching that leg away. Zip up your thigh. Pulse that leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Are you on fire? I'm on fire. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Whew, good work. If you'd like to find yourself on a side plank on that right side, please feel free to do so. If you'd like to kind of experiment with some side planking, you're going to come all the way up, this time onto your right knee and shin. Now, left toes as much as you can are pointing forward. And again, I know this is really awkward for the ankle. That's sort of part of it, is that we're working on that range of motion, pressing into the foot so that we can zip up the thigh, zip up through that inner thigh as well. Right knee underneath us. Maybe catching our breath for a moment. And then crisscross your hands. If you can remember which way you went before, do them the other way. Glutes are on here, pressing through that long left leg, where I'm a little teapotting up and over to the right. Now, as you go to the right, keep pushing that left foot into the floor. Super fire it up. Find your obliques to center. Inhale up and over to the right. Press through the left side. Find the left top side of your waist to pull yourself up. So your body, your choice, your practice, right? So you can sort of play with how far into this you want to go. However, what we're trying to do is not just collapse into ourselves. We're trying to lift up and over, right? Keeping everything nice and zipped up. Take your time. The slower you go with this, the miles more work it's going to be. Exhaling it up. If you're on your forearm or your hand, wherever you are in that more traditional side plank, if you've chosen this route, make sure that you're super pushing that floor away and you're just holding on for dear life here. We have 2 more of our I'm a little teapot planks. Exhaling it up. 1 more time, over. And then coming up that halfway point, you could have added arms if you want to. Maybe you add arms here. Press into that long leg, long through the waist. Glutes are on for 2. For 1, pull yourself all the way up. Shake it off. Shake, 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 shake. Good work, team. That was awesome. Let's bring ourselves all the way down. Let's grab a hold of those blanket towel situations again. And again, if you don't have one, they're not super, super necessary. It's just going to be a nice little thing to add here. Our sort of theme, aside from being in that closed plank, you're going to roll your towel up into a little bit of a blanket sausage. Is to open through our chest, because I have a tricep-y thing. I have a closing experience I would like to do together, and I want us to make sure we've mobilized and we've opened and all of those things. So your blanket sausage, where you would sort of like wrap a towel around your upper body, that's kind of where it's going to hit on the floor, sort of around that area, so that as you come down, you can maybe take a bit of a back bend here. If you'd like to reach those arms up overhead, you can. I'm hoping it feels like a bit of an opening through the chest. And again, if you don't have a blanket or towel or anything, feel free to just be on your backs. That's still totally perfect. You can still completely participate. Starting to add a little more nuance to this. we're going to make sure that we have released our pelvis just a little bit. So hip bones and pubic bone are level for sure. Upper body is over behind us. Upper body's over behind us. Upper body is over the towel. Our arms are behind us. And then we're going to interlace those fingers and bring our hands behind our head. Keep your head heavy in your hands. Lift your elbows up. And let's take a hot second here to recalibrate into that Pilates breath. So inhaling through our nose into the backs and sides of the ribs. Exhaling out through your mouth, blow a candle away. Knowing that in Pilates, our exhale is our active breath. Yeah, we're not resting here. Inhale to expand through the backs and sides of the ribs. As you breathe out, your rib cage is sliding down your waist. Your pelvic floor is drawing up and wide. Everything is trying to open wide and flat. And I don't mean that in like a fashion way. I mean it in an anatomy way. We just don't want to squeeze through the midline of our organs and our tissues. Inhaling to be looking up at the ceiling. As we breathe out, gentle nod of the chin. And then our flexion happens from our rib cage, our torso, as we curl up to look in between those knees. Notice if your pelvis scooped away from you or to the floor. Can you keep it level? Inhale, your upper body goes back over the towel. Exhaling through the mouth, curling up, looking between those thighs. Inhale to take it back. Exhaling it up. Inhale, up and over. So this blanket sausage is giving us an opportunity for a little bit of extension here. Now, again, if you don't have the blanket sausage, please, please, please don't stress about it. You're still having a great experience. Inhale. Well, I maybe don't want to put words in your mouth. You're still getting the ab experience. As we're moving here, taking our time with these first few to just notice little subtle nuances in your pelvis. Can you make sure that you feel an even amount of weight side to side across the pelvis? So we're not sort of tipping from one to the other. We're not tipping front to back. We're keeping that pelvis really nice and level here. Rib cage is sliding down. Belly button, hip bones are opening wide. Exhaling to curl. Now, keeping that nice neutral, if it feels reasonable, maybe walk those legs together. Give them a nice inner thigh squeeze. Inhale back as you curl up, squeeze through that inner thigh line. Inhale to release that inner thigh line. Exhale to curl it up. Now, you could also keep your legs hip distance and sort of like energize them in. Or you could walk your legs completely together and squeeze them in as well. Trying to give options for everybody. Exhale to squeeze. You can keep this going as you curl up. Maybe you roll up to your toes. Trying to keep that pelvis really nice and balanced here. We have 4 more. Head heavy in your hands the whole time for 4. Take your time as you go up and back over your blanket sausage. Curl up for 3. Squeezing through those inner lines, inner thighs, if that's making sense for you, for 2. Last one, we're going to curl. Now, keeping your toes nice and light, we're going to try to keep our pelvis nice and level. You're going to inhale to go up and back over your blanket sausage. As you breathe out, you're going to curl up and lift your left leg into a tabletop. Inhale to put the left foot down as you take your upper body back. Exhale, curl up, right leg lifts to a tabletop as you squeeze. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, nod and curl. Inhale, up and back. Exhale to curl. Now, as you're doing this little march of your feet on the floor, can we make sure that those hips are really trying to stay completely level? Lowering up and back through the rib cage, slide it up. And that rib cage component is really super duper important, yeah, because that's where you're going to feel the abs. You're not going to feel your abs by pulling your head forward. It's going to be what's happening at the center of your body. Option here to add on, oblique twist up and over to the left. Lower the left leg, body goes back. Right leg lifts, oblique twist up and over to the right. Now we're keeping those toes really light on the floor because it just gives you more range to have to pull the leg in. Inhaling out and back. Now, as you curl up in your oblique twist, can we do our best to not be resting on the opposite shoulder blade? That's how much we're trying to curl up and crisscross here. Taking it back, exhale up to twist. One more time, we're going to the left and then pause. Now check in with your hips, keep those hips nice and level. You're reaching your torso up and over to the left. Press those right toes into the floor now. Super press the right toes. Hug the left thigh in, but don't let it squeeze in like Jane Fonda music video style, because remember your pelvis is level. Reaching up to the left, we're going for 5, For 4, or not a music video, a workout video, sorry. 3, 2, 1. Lower the left leg. Inhale, take your body back. Exhale, curl up to the right, and then freeze. Now remember, you're trying to press your left toes into the floor. Hug the right knee in, even across the pelvis. Lift up and over to the right, but keep your pelvis level off of that back right shoulder blade. 5 pulses to the right, please, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Lower down, take a break. Nice job. Whew. Rocking it out. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Now that was super duper fun and exciting. So we're definitely going to add on. We're going to keep our feet planted. We're going to bring our hands behind our head. Now this time we're going to maybe scoop through the pelvis, right? So before the previous experience, we were keeping our hip bones and our pubic bone level. This time you're going to hollow through your belly. Now that's just an option if it doesn't work for your body. I'm just going to very quickly undo this knot in the back of my shirt, sorry, because it's going to not work for me. As we scoop, we're trying to hollow that low belly into the floor. Now, if that's not working for you, you can stay neutral, no problem. Inhale to lengthen back out, hip bones, pubic bone level. Exhale. It's like you're trying to close the gates between your hip and your ribs. We're going for 2 here. Exhale to scoop. 1 more time. Inhale to open. Exhale to scoop. Scooping through that pelvis. Can we roll up to our toes? Hands are going to come behind our head. Taking a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to keep scooping. You're going to curl up into your ab curl. Now this time you're trying to take a little ladybug house at your low back and squish it underneath you. Inhale to take it up and back in space. Exhale, little ladybug house. Now maybe this time as you move really slowly, as you breathe out, both of your legs curl up. Inhale, maybe both of your legs lower to the floor. Keep scooping your body. Exhale, super, can't talk and do it at the same time. Super scoop through that low belly. Pull your legs up and in. Maybe that feels outrageous and you just want to work one at a time still. Inhale, take your time as you go back. The slower you go, the harder it is. Exhale, scoop through your low belly. Both of your legs curl up. Control the lower down. And then exhale, squeeze both of them up. We're going for 2. That low belly first, pubic bone to belly button. Hollow into the mat as you curl it up. 1 more time. Lower down if that's too much on your back. 1 leg at a time, please. Exhale to curl. Now holding through that scoop of the belly, can we maybe lengthen the legs up to the ceiling? We're going to inhale to go back over your blanket cushion, and then exhale, scoop that belly, curl yourself back up. So here we are. You're scooped and hollowed through your belly. Now maybe there's a bend in the knees here. That's so totally perfect. No issue here at all. Maybe the legs are nice and straight if you have that range through the hamstrings. You're super duper hollowed through your belly. You're going to inhale, take your torso back. Exhale, oblique twist up and over to the right. Inhale back through center. Remember, you could also be neutral here. It's definitely harder or I find anyway, a bigger negotiation of the hamstrings. Inhale back, up and over. Now, if any version of this is just feeling absolutely ridiculous to you and you would prefer or you felt more work happening somewhere else, feel free to go there. Back in space, exhale up and over. We're going for 2. Exhale to twist. 1 more time to twist. Now, can you stay to the left? Maybe it's an option to hold here. Maybe the legs reach down and away from you a little bit and then pull them up for 3. They reach out and away. Scoop, 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 scoop. Pull them up for 2. 1 more time. They reach out and away. Pull them up 1, 1. Inhale to go back. My legs are shaking. Exhale up and over to the right. Now remember, you could be in any version of this. You could be just holding here. I shouldn't say just. You could be holding here in maximum amount of tension. Maybe you have a bend of the knee. Maybe they're reaching away from you. Or maybe as you're curled up to the right, hips level, they reach down and away. Scoop through that low belly, curl up for 3. Reach out and away. Keep scooping, scooping, scooping. Pubic bone to belly button for 2. 1 more time. Can you curl up higher into it? Last one. Curl in. Take a break. Good job. Nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out. You can grab the hold of the backs of your legs and rock yourself up or roll over to one side, whatever is going to feel Super fabulous for you. Okay, last little bit of business here. And I just want to make sure that we're like really nice and open through those shoulders before we add on to this. So can we all reach our arms up towards the ceiling? I'm going to turn on a diagonal and then reach those arms out and back behind us. Inhale to reach it up. Exhaling out and back. 2 more. Forward and up towards the ceiling. Big circle here. 1 more time. Reach it out and up. And circle back. Now I'm going to show you what we're doing, or we're going to start moving together. And I'm going to like start throwing out different mods for you depending on how you feel. So sitting up as tall as you can, you're always welcome to slide a blanket underneath you here. Can we reach our right arm all the way up? It comes all the way back behind us, and then rotate those fingertips so your fingertips face into your hips. Left arm is going to reach out, up and away. Rotate it in so that the left fingertips face in. That's important. Feet are planted on the floor. We're going to super push the floor away. Now, maybe this already feels like a massive amount of work in your shoulders and across your chest. And if that's the case, feel free to be here and breathe. We're going to, again, get us going, and then I'm going to give you options. Breathe it in here, and then you're going to fire through those glutes and lift your hips up. Inhale to lower down to tap. Exhale, push through the floor, lift your hips up. That's the foundation. Keep going if that's working for you. Options. If you have a chair or a counter or a couch close by, you could always, I don't, so I can't show you that, but you could always come up a little higher onto that. Yes, that's totally an option. If you hate this completely, you can nix the arms and come down into your bridge and work from here, right? Tap down and then lift it up. All of these are options for you. What changes is that when we're up on our hands, you're opening through that chest, you're firing through your triceps. That's the difference here. Lifting it up. You've got it here, team. We're going for 3. Now, if you still want to work your triceps and this doesn't work for you, don't worry. 2, I have another option for you. Last one, we're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8. And if you want to just take a break here, take a break, or you can really squeeze into those arms for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Lower down, take a break. If you want to not be bridging, if you're not interested in opening out this way, you can bend those elbows in, tricep reach this way. Bending it in, tricep extension behind you. You could also come onto hands and knees, spin those fingertips in a little bit. You could also be against a wall and start to add some push-ups in that way. So non-weight bearing, weight bearing forward. Most spiciness, I would say, like ghost pepper spiciness, would be all the way up and around, fingertips face in. All the way up and around, fingertips face in. Starting the same. You feel the hands and feet pressing into the floor. Fire through those arms, lift your hips up. Now on the way down, you tap through your tail, you micro bend those elbows. Push the arms to straight, lift the hips up. Tail taps down. Little bend of the elbows. Push the floor away. Keep looking forward as your hips lift up. So I'm going to keep cycling through different options here. Be where you need to be. So this is 1. Another option would be to be facing down, right? Knees can be on the floor. So you're still weight bearing, but maybe feels a little more accessible. You could also do that on a wall. You could also do that on a chair. This back one you could be doing on a chair. If none of these are feeling fabulous, you can reach back this way. You could also reach back this way, yeah? So please feel free to freestyle, be where you need to be. Trying to give all the options. Let's go for 2. Just my version of cardio these days. 1 more time. Now, wherever you are, you're going to find the peak effort. Now, squeeze your arms. Push the floor away. Zip up through the belly wherever you are. If your feet are on the floor, you're pushing the floor away, squeezing those glutes. If you're up like this, looking forward, not back. For 4, for 3, for 2. Last one, bring it down. Shake off those wrists. Take a nice big breath in, reach those arms up. Exhale it out. Feel free to grab your blanket or a pillow, something to sort of prop yourselves up on. And we're going to sit ourselves up. Let's cross our legs so that our right leg is in front. And if this is feeling like not possible, feel free to find a version that makes sense for you. Gently nodding through the chin, walking those hands forward. Breathing in here. Breathing out. Letting your breath now be a breath that invites space, that invites gratitude for all the hard work that you've been doing, that you've done, that you continue to do. Breathing it in here, hand out. And then walking those hands over to the left. As you feel that, feel your right hip draw back. And then we're gonna add an arm thing here in a minute. I've been adding into my classes a moment where we just give an acknowledgement to Indigenous land. I'm filming in Oakville, but you may be practicing wherever it is your home is. So as we're taking this moment to give gratitude to our bodies, hello, for working so stinking hard, almost taking a moment to give thanks, especially as we're bowing down to the land that we're practicing on. Now, if you'd like to add a little bit of a twist, you're going to take your right arm. So you've gone through center, walked your hands to the left, right arm can thread under. Just adds an extra something. Breathe it in here. Breathing out, unravel that right arm. Walk your hands all the way to the left. Plant your left hand by your left hip. Unravel yourself into a side bend. Come all the way up. Switch your feet, left leg in front. Sitting up nice and tall, and then nodding through your nose, walking your hands forward. Feeling your hips drawing back in space, scooping through your belly as you're here. Taking a few breaths. An hour really can fly by, eh? And then taking those hands, walking them over to the upper right imaginary corner here, feeling that left hip draw back. So we started our time together today by activating through the mid-back, those posture muscles, working a bit of extension here, as well as working through that shoulder, that rotator cuff, just a little bit. And then taking that to more upright, working through the back chain of the body into our glutes, our hamstrings, our quads with all that really exciting leaning back stuff. We added a little rotation there for the upper body as well. Taking it into some side glutes, again, back chain glute kind of around the pelvis, and then into some side obliques. Take your left hand, thread your left hand underneath your right, for a bit of a reach. Bringing it back down to the ground to work into some more deep core related business, and then finishing off with whichever version you did. There was definitely arms in there, potentially some legs and abs as well. Bring your left arm out. Walk both of your hands towards the right side of your hip. Plant your right hand to your right thigh. Unravel up. Bring yourself all the way upright. Inhale, big reach up overhead. As you breathe out, give yourself a squeeze. As always, thank you so, so much for having me in. Thank you for all of your hard work. And I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you.